See oil oil beneath your motor mount. Your motor mount has sprung a leak and is urinating oil. All right, my little Bundy buddies, we're working on a 2005 Honda Pilot. This is the side motor mount. It actually sits on the passenger side, and just ended up removing it. Not a whole lot to it. 3 bolts hold it in. One thing I wanted to show you guys is I noticed there was like oil sitting underneath this thing on the frame, and on closer inspection you actually see it. On closer inspection you actually see this rust. It's actually oil. It looks like rust, but what happens, this little rubber cavity is filled with oil and it leaks out when it breaks, and it looks like motor oil. Basically, I saw it, kind of ignored it. It's on my wife's Pilot, and now it's really shot, and the engine is making all kinds of, when she goes into reverse or drive, the engine's just clunking. So she was complaining, and got to fix it for her. So you can see that right there, it's shot. You shouldn't be able to do that. Got a new one right here. I'll put a link for you guys down in the description below. You guys can pick one up off of Amazon. But before you install this, always make sure it lines up, it's the right thing. Let's see. Yep. Looks right. See if the bolt holes line up. They do. Everything seems to be good. I'm going to check on this one, make sure that this one isn't cracked. No, see, it's intact right there, right at the bottom, right where my thumb's at. It is intact, so it's good to go. Just note that when you guys do this, you might have to raise up your engine a little bit to get the 2 bolts. It actually sits like this, so you have this here. Let me grab the other piece. So the motor mount sits like this. If you're looking at it from the front, this actually goes towards the wheel. This is towards the engine, right? And you have this bracket that comes in here with a big old long 17mm bolt that goes through here. Just know that when you do these 2 bolts, they're 14mm. When you do these 2 bolts, you might have to raise up the engine a little bit. Get a floor jack and put a piece of wood on top of the floor jack and put up towards the oil pan and lift up the engine just ever so slightly. You might have to do that to line up these correctly. And before you tighten any of the bolts down for the long 17mm or these 2 14s, make sure that they're in place. And then once everything's in place, you can go ahead and lock it down. Or you'll just be fighting a never-ending battle if you tighten these down and try to get the 17mm in. Or vice versa, if you tighten down the 17mm and try to get these in, it's not going to happen. So leave these 3 bolts loose. I'll actually probably install these, get them started, not tighten them down, just so that everything, so I have more wiggle room when I'm trying to get everything lined back up. So there you go, guys. If you see oil on your frame, on your Honda Pilot, Accord, anything with the Honda V6s, this motor mount is in a lot of the Honda V6s, J series engine. See oil beneath your motor mount. Your motor mount has sprung a leak and is urinating oil.